Hello again, and greetings to dear friends. Well, in this session, we want to draw the RSI indicator. RSI indicator. For this purpose, we use the plot function from the Matplotlib library and issue the plot command for the RSI column of the data frame. Next, we call the show function to display the plot and press the run button. As you can see, the RSI plot is drawn. Well, to prevent cluttering of horizontal axis numbers, we use the xTix function with a rotation of 45 degrees. In prior sessions, we rotate dates on the horizontal axis for a cleaner look. Now, let's execute by pressing run. Well, it can be observed that the RSI 14 plot is beautifully drawn for us. Now, the question that arises is how to use this indicator. Now, for a closer examination, instead of the last 100 candles, we obtain data from the last 1000 candles for the other cryptocurrency. In order for all commands to be executed and each change to take effect, we press the run button for all commands. As an example, observe that the calculated RSI has a length of 1000. By plotting the chart, it can be seen that this indicator oscillates between the range of 0 to 100. Well, now to use this indicator, it is better to simultaneously observe RSI change with price change. For this purpose, here, in order to draw two or more plots, we use the subplot function of the Matplotlib library. The input to this function is 3 consecutive numbers. The first number indicates the number of plots. The next numbers are the row and column of that plot. For example, the combination 2, 1 and 2 means that we have 2 plots, and now we will be working with the plot in the first row and second column. Now, for the plot in the first row and first column, I want to plot the closing price of the cryptocurrency. Similar to before, here we give the plot command for the close price column of the data frame. In the plot of the first row and second column, we issue the command to plot the RSI 14 column of the price data frame. Now, with these commands, I will have 2 plots below. Also here I type the show command to plot the charts. Now, if I press run, both plots will be drawn below. Well, here, the numbers on the x-axis are irregular. Again, like before, for both plots, I use the xTix function and consider rotation equal to 45 degrees. By executing these commands, the numbers rotate by 45 degrees. However, this time, the bottom plot obstructs the display of upper horizontal axis numbers. Well, to address this issue, I need to adjust the distance between the two plots. For this purpose, here, I use the tight layout function from the Matplotlib library. Okay, now I press the run. Excellent! With these commands, the plots are beautifully drawn. The upper and lower plots show the price and RSI respectively. Now, to make the charts more professional, here I specify the vertical axis titles for the charts. I consider the vertical axis title for the upper chart equal to the close price of USDT. With a code similar to the upper chart, I also consider the title for the lower chart as RSI 14. Now, by pressing run, the charts have been professionally drawn and are ready for technical analysis. And now for a simpler understanding of RSI and closing prices behavior, here I reduce the time range. And for this purpose, here I reduce the number of candles from 1000 to 300. Again, for each code related to calculations, I execute them to update. Yes, here we have 301 hour data points. Here, I also execute the codes related to RSI calculations. Finally, by executing this part of the code, charts of close price and RSI change for the past 300 hours are drawn. Well, now let's move on to these charts, which represent information from almost the past 12 days. Here, we want to challenge the claims of simplistic analysts about RSI. Many trading strategies advocated by overly confident individuals will in reality result in losses for their followers. Losses for their followers. The most famous strategy associated with RSI is to first consider two horizontal lines, RSI 30 and 70. To add these two horizontal lines to the lower chart, for example the RSI chart, this method can be used. For this purpose, the AXH line function of the matplotlib library is used, which has inputs. The only mandatory input for this function is the value of the y-axis horizontal line. For example, here we consider the number 30 as an input. Yes, with this comment, this horizontal line is drawn for us. We do the same thing here for the horizontal line at y equals 70 and press run. Now, for a more aesthetic appeal, we consider the color green for the horizontal line at 30 and press run. For the horizontal line at 70, we consider the color red and press run again. Excellent. Now, with these beautifully drawn charts, here we delve into the common strategy in this area. It is common to call the RSI area below the green line 20 the oversold zone. You may have heard that in this area we should expect a price increase, but is this always true? In fact, with these tools and charts, we can become our analysts and not just blindly follow others. On the contrary, it is common to consider that if RSI goes above the red line 70, we are in the overbought zone. In fact, many will expect a price drop in this area, but this claim can also be questioned this time. Well, friends, here I want to state that one indicator is by no means sufficient and is not reliable. In fact, the simplest strategy based on RSI 30 and 70 is only accurate in range-bound markets. On the contrary, in trending markets, this strategy will be very detrimental and will behave completely opposite. In fact, if the market is not ranging and has a trend, when RSI goes above 70, it can indicate the strength of an uptrend. While if we follow a simple strategy, we exit the trade right where the price is rising. In fact, the simple RSI 30 and 70 strategy is only suitable for range-bound markets, not trending markets. Now, to consolidate scattered codes, we copy the price information retrieval codes here. In fact, we want to perform very large tasks with very small chains. Great. If I choose Ethereum here, two charts will be drawn quickly and beautifully for me. Note that for each cryptocurrency, each time frame, and each number of candles, we can draw these charts. For example, here to examine the past year of Ethereum, we consider a daily time frame and 365 candles. Well, as you can see, in areas where simplistic analysts sell, the upward trend has continued. In fact, with premature exits, we either incur losses or miss out on sweet profits. Especially in this part, based on analyst analysis, we should exit before the price rises to this beauty. So I reiterate that simply relying on one indicator or just hearing that this strategy is excellent can be deceptive. Thank you for your attention, dear friends.